And I'm here to tell you that our CDS and our Public Works Department are outstanding organizations, but they're about to get real busy. And they're going to get real busy because you in this community supported us in the Hopkinsville Christian County Wins Initiative. And that is a partnership between Hopkinsville and Christian County government, and we are excited about what's going to unfold in the coming 24-month cycle. And I don't believe I see any of our good friends from fiscal court. Judge Tribb will send his apologies for not being able to be here this morning, but I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge how lucky we are in the city of Hopkinsville and in Christian County to have strong working relationships between city and county government. I hope you know how lucky we are to have strong working relationships between city and county government. You can look not too far around us and you can see examples of where it's not quite so strong. And so don't take for granted the fact that you have a judge executive and mayors of your major cities that are working so closely together like we are here in Hopkinsville, Oak Grove, and Christian County, because it means we're able to push further and farther than we could if we were working alone or even against one another. Now, the good news is, Judge and I joke that I don't want his job and he doesn't want my job, so it makes it really easy for us to work together. But it's the truth. We respect one another, we value one another, and I believe he's doing an exceptional job as Judge Executive, and I hope he feels the same way that I'm doing a decent job as Mayor of Hopkinsville. But in the coming months, through Hopkinsville Christian County Wins, you're going to be seeing over 50 sidewalk projects throughout the community. 50 sidewalk projects to the tune of about $1.5 million worth of investment. These are new sidewalks in much needed areas like Millbrook Drive and Powell Lane and Lafette Road and Glass Avenue, and some areas where we have some real life safety issues, where we have kids walking to school, we have people exercising without any shoulder or any sidewalk. So we're going to see new sidewalks, but we're also going to see many sidewalks that are rehabilitated and replaced in many of our inner city and downtown areas, where sidewalks were poured in the 1950s and haven't been touched since. So 50 sidewalk projects as a result of Hopkinsville Christian County Wins. Now, you may think, well, why is a sidewalk important? Because it enhances infrastructure, it enhances quality of life, it gives people the impression that we care about their neighborhood, that we're willing to invest in their neighborhood, that we're willing to allow that their kids, their grandparents to walk safely to and from wherever it is that they're going. That's critical. It's also a factor that today's economic developers pay attention to, if I'm not mistaken, Leanna, that our site selectors in large industries, they want to see your sidewalk infrastructure. They want to know that you care enough about your sidewalks to invest in them. Because guess what? If you don't, they don't think you care about much anything else either. So sidewalks are more than just safe routes. They're about the value that we have as a community for our own people. But you're going to see 50 over the coming 2 to 3 years. You also see the expansion of the Hopkinsville Greenway system, or what we all call the Rail to Trail, doubling the size of our greenway from where it currently ends at the Pardue Lane Park Dog Park all the way out to Tiebreaker Family Aquatic Center. Now, I want you to visualize with me for a second what that really means. That means, Councilmember Henson, who's a great supporter of our efforts, that means that if you'll be able to go to the farmer's market on a Saturday morning, maybe get you some good produce from our great farmer's market, Holly Boggis, and then if you want to, walk all the way out to Tiebreaker Park safely. It also means if you're a kid that needs to walk from the downtown area to Hopkinsville High School, you'll be able to do so safely. It also means with an ongoing project through the state that we hope materializes very soon, as we put a sidewalk down North Drive, that you'll be able to go from Hopkinsville Community College down North Drive to the Greenway system all the way to the south end of town. So this isn't just about exercise enthusiasts like myself being able to run a little further or ride their bike a little longer. It's about connecting people throughout this community to one another with a safe route. We're going to double the size of the Hopkinsville Greenway system and connect South Hopkinsville to North Hopkinsville safely and everything in between. Don't you think that deserves a round of applause for the Hopkinsville Greenway system and the WINS initiative? It's exciting times. We'll also be developing a multi-purpose sports facility that we're calling the Sportsplex. And whatever it ends up being officially called, that's the name we're using right now, Sportsplex. This will allow us to not only serve our current residential needs and giving more of our own people chances to go participate in great indoor sporting activities like AAU basketball and Junior Olympic volleyball and archery and indoor soccer and indoor hitting practices and things of that nature, cheer cats and whatever it is that you can do in this facility, a nearly 50,000 square foot facility. But it will also allow us to bring in families from throughout this region to come in for weekend sports tournaments. Now, why is that important? Because when people go to weekend sports tournaments, what do? Spend money. And who do they spend money with? You and your business and your organizations. And that's how we create a vibrant, growing economy. It's not through magic words and a microphone. It's through powerful investments and opportunities that bring more and more people into our community so they can spend their hard-earned disposable income with our businesses and at our locations and at our attractions. And that's critical if we want to have a vibrant economy. And that Sportsplex is currently going to be under design here very soon. We've picked a design firm to take off with it, and we're hopeful that it'll break ground in the late part of the summer, early part of the fall, and be operational by the late summer 2018. And I hope you're as excited as I am. I'm married to a volleyball coach, so I've been going to these facilities in Owensboro and Bowling Green and Franklin, Tennessee and Paducah and Louisville and Lexington for years upon years, staying at hotels in other communities, eating at their restaurants, and just desiring to help make that happen in Hopkinsville. And we're going to do that as a result of Hopkinsville Christian County wins. Very exciting stuff. We're also investing in 2 new neighborhood parks in our inner city areas, East Side Park and the Durrett Avenue area. Neighborhood parks that are going to give kids and families more opportunities to recreate and to play in a healthy, safe fashion. That's critical if we want a healthy Hopkinsville, to have accessible neighborhood parks where families can safely walk to them and experience the opportunities there. What a wonderful thing we're going to have with 2 new neighborhood parks. We're also investing through Hopkinsville Christian County wins in the Alhambra. Have you been to the Alhambra lately? It's about to see even more positive changes. I see, Margaret, have you been there lately? Yeah, I think you have. I think I saw you there Sunday watching Field of Dreams, if I'm not mistaken, where you were serving popcorn. I was watching Field of Dreams. But yeah, something like that. The Alhambra is a fantastic feature in downtown Hopkinsville, and it's about to undergo another $1 million worth of upgrades as a result of this partnership really being led by the county, but the city's excited to be a part of that as well. And why is that important? Why is it important that we invest in the Alhambra and our museum? Because they're part of our heritage. They're part of our history. They're part of what makes us unique and special in Hopkinsville and Christian County. And as excited as I am about the future, we can't forget our past. That's what's create a unique place that others should be proud of, and we certainly hope that you're proud of. And so we're really excited to see that happen. And I've got to tell you, how many of you have seen the movie Field of Dreams? Raise your hand if you've seen that movie, right? If you build it, he will come. I think we always say they will come. The actual quote is, if you build it, he will come, because it was about the relationship between son and a father. And it makes me cry every single time. And I cried like a little baby on Sunday afternoon watching it for 2 reasons. 1, it always makes me cry. But 2, I sat there in this historic theater in downtown Hopkinsville, and it brought back memories of childhood when I would watch Rocky III, which I watched that at the Alhambra Theater as a kid. I believe I watched one of the Jaws as Cheryl. I can't remember which one, but I remember watching one of them. Y'all remember this? I mean, the Alhambra is part of that memory for me, right? And so just sitting there and just thinking about how rich this history is and how much more we're going to improve this particular location in the Penny Royal Area Museum because of Hopkinsville Christian County wins. Truly exciting times. And finally, through HCC wins, we're excited, we hope, to be creating an ag exposition facility here in Hopkinsville and Christian County. Now, there's still more work to be done with that, a county-driven project in the process of feasibility study right now, but if all goes well, we'll be adding that facility where we can host indoor rodeos, indoor tractor pools, indoor boat shows, indoor events of that nature that will allow, again, more and more people to come to Hopkinsville, Oak Grove, and Christian County to spend time and money and to have an outstanding experience. And let me say this before I move on. When we have events like that in Hopkinsville, it's great for Oak Grove. When they have events in Oak Grove like that, it's great for Hopkinsville. Because people don't necessarily just stay right where the event is. They may stay a little further down the road. So when we have a big sports tournament, hotels in Oak Grove benefit. When Oak Grove has a big concert and an event, hotels in Hopkinsville benefit. So it's time that we truly see ourselves as one large community in Hopkinsville and Oak Grove and Christian County. I know that's sometimes easier said than done because we all have our own identity and our own passion, and we all want to be who we are. But the truth is, the consumers of this region that come from all over, they don't care about the city line or the county line. They care about the amenities and the businesses that we have to offer. So what's good for the goose is truly good for the gander in Hopkinsville, Christian County as we continue to work to build the quality of life in Hopkinsville, Oak Grove, and Christian County. Now, before I forget, I'd like to ask any representatives from CDS and Public Works to please stand up. Please give them a round of applause. Don't be shy, guys. I'll call you out by name. Dave, Blaine, Mike, Steve Bourne. Where are you guys at? Stand up and give them a round of applause, Greg. Tab, I see you standing. Holly. They work hard all the time. But the truth is, Hopkinsville Christian County Wins is going to make them work even harder as we have this many projects to be taking advantage of in the coming months. Speaking of excitement, I hope you're as excited as I am about the new $30 million retail center that's just up the road that's bringing some large national name brand stores to Hopkinsville and Christian County. Stores like TJ Maxx and Hobby Lobby and Panera Bread and Burke's. And as I say this, I'm actually getting sad because I can see my daughter spending more money. And that's a good thing, because if we didn't have it, they'd be going somewhere else to spend that money. And so we are excited about this large Hopkinsville Town Center, a $30 million facility. But what I really want you to know is Hopkinsville and Christian County are committed to incentives to help recruit more and more industry, retail, restaurant, and downtown businesses. In fact, I'm as excited about the number of downtown businesses that have opened up in the past year and that are prepared to open up in the year ahead. In fact, did you know this Saturday, Bella Maria is opening up on 6th Street? Any of you guys familiar with that store? I can tell you my 15-year-old daughter, I see you back there, Whitney. My 15-year-old daughter is familiar with that store and routinely would ask my wife, can we go to Princeton? Well, now we don't have to go to Princeton. We just need to go to 6th Street and build off of the momentum that we see downtown. Stores and restaurants like Quincy's. Nikki, have you ever been to Quincy's? I know you have. Your sister owns and operates Quincy's and does it with a smile. You want a really good cheeseburger? You need to go to Quincy's. I hear they have some good chicken and some other items too. I'm just partial to the cheeseburger. Or maybe Amanda's Cupcakes. Or perhaps you've been to the 6th Street Boutique. Or maybe you've been to one of our bedrock restaurants now downtown. You think I'm going to say Farrell's. Yeah, you can applaud for Farrell's if you want to, but I'm going to talk about The Place, which is a great restaurant downtown, or the 8th Street Cafe, or maybe you've been to the Hopkinsville Brewing Company. You don't have to raise your hand on that one if you don't want to, but pastors, it's okay if you do. I know you went there only to pray for the people that were there. Hopkinsville Brewing Company, which has added so much to downtown Hopkinsville. Do you get the point? We're excited about the retail and the growth, and yes, I know we've had some closures. And I hate those more than just about anybody, because anytime a store closes, my Facebook page is lit up with how terrible it is that that particular store is closed. And I don't like it any more than the next person. But for every closure this past year, we've had 2 to 3 openings. And so let's not forget about the positive that's happening, and it's happening because we're growing and we're committed to offering incentives to allow industrial, residential, and retail development to occur. That's exciting stuff, and I hope you're as excited as I am. One of the ways we help our retail and our restaurants grow is we bring people into the community. We've already talked about the Sportsplex, but did you know last year the Tiebreaker Family Aquatic Center played host to 47,000 attendees? That's almost 50,000 people that came to our water park to have a good time on a warm summer afternoon. 60% of those attendees came from a neighboring county. 60% came from a neighboring county. That's how you grow your economy. You give people reasons to come into your community. And the Tiebreaker Family Aquatic Center, through a partnership with the YMCA and under the leadership of our Parks and Recreation, is bringing people into our county. It's time we quit talking about the water park as a liability, and we see it as the asset that it is. If you can name something else in this community that brought almost 50,000 people through its gates over 3 months, with 60% of that coming from a neighboring county, by all means, name it. Besides Walmart, and I know that does it, besides Walmart. The Hoptown Hoppers doesn't do it, and I love the Hoptown Hoppers. They'll average about 11,000 people, Jeff. Almost 50,000 people came to the water park last year, a $2 million economic impact for the 3 months that it's operational. Give the water park a round of applause, but more importantly, give it your political support. Because the time is coming when we have to talk about the future of the water park, where we have to just get real with you about some maintenance issues and expansion ideas, because if it's not growing, it's dying, and it's time for the water park to grow again. Now, don't worry, I'm not proposing anything right now. We got to get wins done before we worry about anything else. What I'm asking you to do is start to really think about the impact of that water park and prepare yourself to offer us some political support so we have the courage to make some great changes happen in the coming years, because it is time for us to think about it. And I'm wrapping it up here. Did you know that last year this year to date, Hopkinsville Transit has delivered over 14,696 riders year to date. That's an 82% increase over this time last year. 14,000, Paul, 696 riders. I'd like to ask Nikki and Paul and anyone else that may be out there that serves on the Public Transit Advisory Committee, please stand up. They need a round of applause. This has been an outstanding success. Since its inception 2.5 years ago, there have been 276,216 miles driven by our transit system with 56 stops. And one of those stops is the Tiebreaker Family Aquatic Center, in case you need a ride this summer to that wonderful water park. And my final did you know, and I think you all do, is that on August the 21st, 2017, what, you know what I'm talking about? Christian County will play host to the total solar eclipse. But here's what you might not know. Already to date, we have taken reservations in our camping sites and our public viewing sites in Christian County from 27 different states and 11 different countries. We are on the international map like we've never been before, and it's because we hit the cosmic lottery called the August 21st total solar eclipse. And with a very brief but exciting announcement is our eclipse coordinator, Miss Brooke Young. Give Brooke a round of applause as she comes forward.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, we are 111 days away, so I always like to celebrate, any sort of number excitement. So we are announcing that we are in partnership with an app called Palaroo. That's P-A-L-A-R-O-O, and it's a free app that everyone can download. It will give you a map of all of the events happening on the solar eclipse weekend. You can get alerts sent to your phone anytime a schedule is updated or a vendor sends out an alert about anything special that they have going on. This is going to be a huge tool for our businesses to be able to reach out to all of our visitors coming in town. You'll be able to see the path of totality go across the county, so people will be able to see where the event is located with regards to the path of totality and really get a feel for all of the excitement that we have going on that entire weekend. So we're announcing that today, and we hope everyone downloads it. It's free, and we just want to spread the word to all of our residents so everyone stays connected and knows what's going on. So be looking for more information. Go check out our Facebook page on that, and everybody download the app. It's going to be awesome. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Brooke. So as you can tell, we're very excited about the August 21st solar eclipse. I do need to acknowledge I've been looking at the extended forecast. It's going to be sunny and dry that day. I hope, Joe, I really do. And in all honesty, according to the Farmer's Almanac, what's the driest week of the year? This week of August. And so we hope that those farmers are as accurate as they always tend to be in that almanac. We really are excited. So the community is strong, and it's getting stronger, as evidenced by the fact that we're still the most caring community in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. If you don't believe me, then help us celebrate our local Rotary Club and the recent Rotary auction, $332,000 raised by the Rotary Club. Give all Rotarians who might be in the room a round of applause. The largest Rotary fundraiser in the world. We are still one of the top 3 most diverse communities in Kentucky. There's some competing information here. We used to say most diverse. Now I saw some that said 3rd most diverse. Whatever. We're one of the most diverse communities in this great state. That's something to be proud of and excited about. And we see that evidence with great leadership throughout our community. And just recently, U.S. News and World Report reported that Hopkinsville High School is a top 30 high school in the state of Kentucky. That is worth celebrating. That's evidence that we're strong and getting stronger. Now, as a Colonel graduate, and with Mr. Bensel threatening me if I brag too much about Hopkinsville High School, as a Colonel graduate, I have to tell you, Christian County's not that far behind. We need both of them, Ms. Gimmel, to be top 10. And with your continued leadership, we have no doubt that's exactly where you're taking our school system. So thank you so much to the Christian County Public Schools for giving us such great news this past week. And we know you're going to give us even more as these young people go out and perform on their K-Prep test this week as well. But it's exciting stuff. That's how you get stronger, through a great public school system and great educational opportunities for all kids from all families. Join us this Friday at 9 a.m. at City Hall as we have our budget address and talk about next year's budget and next year's goals and activities. It'll be a great chance for you to come hear how we're spending your money, because it is yours, and what we plan to do to help Hopkinsville be bold, unified, and strategic, and continue to grow and be a healthy, happy Hopkinsville. Thank you and God bless.